Wow, so lately I've gotten a lot of emails and DMs and occasional comments with people asking me about masking, about intersecting masks, about making selections. Okay, that's great. I'm glad I'm getting all these comments, but I made a few videos recently and I guess that kind of stirred up some interest, even though I made these products for making selections a long time ago, several months, last year in fact, and some of them are evolutions going on for years now. And I've always believed that cool selections can make the coolest tools for doing things in your edit, usually for finalizing or correction or things like that, but it's whatever you can think of. So anyway, this is not a product demo, but I want to talk about using an additional option with, like, for example, MaskLogic. That's my masking sort of tool set that everything, it happens in an action and everything happens on the layers window. No third-party windows popping up or anything like that. So you can make any changes you need. Very easy to work with. But I also have a more advanced selection maker, if you will, when MaskLogic, which leverages a lot of Adobe AI, fails. Let's explain. All right, so let's look at a mask that we've already made with MaskLogic. There's videos on that. Look those up. We have it linked below. You can see how MaskLogic works. But we have all these masks tucked into our channels window, our channels palette, so then we can call them, in other words, make a selection from them at will. Here's a skin mask. Adobe AI did this, right? There's a subject mask. Adobe AI did that, and all the other stuff. We got the mouth, we got the eyes, we got the hair, which is really, really good. Wardrobe and accessories, which also is cool. But, you know, before we talk about anything else, yeah, we have saturation, highlights, midtones, and shadows. But let's think about something. This is the wardrobe. Well done, Adobe AI. This is the subject. Also well done. This is the skin. Well done. But where did it go wrong? Go back to the main image. Where it went wrong is that there's more skin there. But Adobe's AI said, no, the dress is this. It does not recognize, as of this time, middle of 2026, it does not recognize that this is a meshy dress and there's still skin in there. Now, do you need to select that skin? I don't know. But what if you did? What if you did and all this MaskLogic stuff didn't work? Well, that's where another cool action that I developed a while ago that you can use to create selections based on luminosity and color ranges. So check it out. It's called NBP Hue Range Selection Builder. All right, it's one of the tools anyway. And I'm going to do this one also has a subject mask on it. So at least it starts with that, okay? So it's a cool layer stack. It's a lot of math. You don't have to know how it works, but we have videos on that too, so you can see how it works. But let's go through this. I'm going to turn off the visualizer. And on the actual hue range selector, this is where the magic happens, which is just a hue and saturation layer. I'm going to go to the reds where most skin exists, and I'm going to brighten maximum like that. Okay, and now I can see this is basically the reds. Now I may want to play around and see if I can incorporate more or less of the problem areas, maybe. I need to advance this selection a little bit more. It's not quite right. Oh, no, got to get more into the yellow. That's about all I'm getting. Yeah, I can't push it too much into the green. Okay, cool. Now I'm going to go to my levels mask refine, and I'm probably going to darken a lot and then brighten a lot. Watch this. Again, we have videos that show about all this. Now, let's ignore for a minute that her skin is selected pretty well, all things considered. Simple little things like fixing her eyes, that can be done. That's not a problem at all. I'm going to darken this just a little bit more. You see how maximized it is? We have the low at 13, the high at 15. That's about as max as you can go. But what's the key here? The key is that we have what amounts to a skin tone selection underneath most of the black mesh, the black being the black area of the mask. And on her legs, we have a skin mask, at least the beginnings of a decent one, right? So how do we work with this? Well, on the action, we have buttons as well, it's helper actions as I call them. We have make selection, we push that, now we have a selection. That's also option command 2 or alt control 2, which is a normal Photoshop function. And then we can go to select and go save selection if we want. Okay, and that's going to help us put it into a channel if we want to do that. But we have actions that do that here too, like save selection to new channel. We have helper actions for that as well. So I'm going to go to select, go to save selection. Okay, and we're going to call this one skin without dress. Okay, makes a new channel. Hit OK, cool. Deselect, and then now I can delete this layer stack if I want, but I also have a helper action for that. Delete selection builder stack. Now we're back to normal. Let's go to our channels and see our mask. There it is, skin without dress. Not exactly that, right? But how do we work with this in a way that's going to make sense for us? Well, let's take a look. All right, so let's go to RGB. Make sure we're back in our main RGB channel. Now here, our composite, I should say, we have a calculate function. That's an action as well, part of MaskLogic. But really, it's just if you come up here, image menu, and go to calculations, it's what that is, okay? But calculations does a lot of things, more than just intersecting masks, okay? But here is what we're going to try to do to hopefully make this work in a way that matters to us. Okay, so let's go to calculate and just kind of see how that works and see, is there an intersection that can work, or do we have to do it manually? We might have to do it manually, and that is okay. So let's go to skin mask, and if we choose the other one, how we intersect another skin mask, then we get the pure skin. Okay, well, if we go skin without dress, no, that doesn't help us. Skin and skin without dress doesn't make sense. How about subject? No, it looks just like the skin without dress. What do we do? Well, here's what we can do. Okay, we go back to our channels, right? And then we're going to hold down Command or Control, and we're going to click the thumbnail for skin without dress. See that? Boop. All right, now that that selection is running, now we hold down Option and Command or Alt and Control, and we click what we want to subtract. So we go to the skin mask and we hit subtract. Okay. All right, we can even do the same thing, Alt and Control or Option and Command, and we can subtract the hair, and we can subtract the mouth and the eyes. And we're getting there. We can clean up other stuff, but we're trying to remove as much as possible, okay? Now we have a selection of just the skin, and we can kind of look at it by creating a new layer. Let's go ahead and go to, it doesn't matter, let's go to curves. All right, now let's look at our mask. Hold down Alt or Option and click the mask. There are things we can fix very easily, but we have the core areas ready to go. And now that we're here, first of all, let's go to a black brush, 100% everything, and just quickly clean up the areas that we know we don't want part of our selection. That's easy, okay? Something like that. Now, we can also, while we're here, looking at the mask, Command or Control L for levels, which is really a destructive process intentionally. I can increase the dark side. Let's see if the dark area gets any darker. No, those pixels are maximized. Okay, no big deal. That's not a problem at all. So we're about as maximum as we're going to get. But depending on what we're trying to do, let me see what this is right here. This area is just a hole. We don't want that. And we'll figure this out. Don't get me, you don't have to commit to it right now. As you're working, you can kind of figure out what works and what doesn't. Okay, so now we have curves. I'm gonna go ahead and put on luminosity blend mode for grids. Now, after all that effort, which took a few seconds, I can brighten the skin or darken the skin under the mesh without messing with the mesh. You may or may not want to do that. And you might have a separate layer like this just for that. You can also, right now, come to the normal skin mask. Remember that one on the channels? If we decide, no, we want that back, not the red channel, we can come here and hold down Command or Control, click the skin mask, right? Come back to our go back to our mask here. We can fill with white, and now we include the skin again. See, I'm just showing you how you can make decisions. You may want to put those things opposite. You might want to brighten under the mesh one way and brighten her regular skin another way, maybe. So let's hit undo a couple of times. Okay, so there's just that. Okay, cool. And then we can come here and choose Command or Control, choose the skin, and then we can make another curves, and we choose luminosity. Now, on this one, which is the meshy bit, right, we may brighten that just a hair, and on the normal one, we brighten it ever so slightly. We can control them separately, and now we've brightened the skin, including under the mesh. If we really needed to, we can also darken the skin under the mesh without darkening the actual dress. We can darken her skin tone if we needed to as well. So again, I'm not saying any of this is right or wrong. I'm saying this is how we build complicated masks. Instead of thinking, how do I do this? How do I, do I have to draw every little thing out in detail? No, there's usually ways to figure things out with either adding or subtracting masks together or intersecting them. There's so many different ways to create selections for useful purposes. So again, if you run MaskLogic and you look at all this and you think, well, thank you for nothing, Adobe, you did not account for the mesh. Okay, cool. Well, you have another cool action stack. You can make the mesh selection, or rather the skin underneath the mesh, modify it as needed, intersect it, subtract it, and add to it as needed. And you can make all kinds of really cool, complicated selections. And that is the tip of the iceberg of so much that you can do. And again, it's not just a technical demonstration of some cool stuff. It's, what do you want? What do you want to do? If you look at this shot and go, maybe I don't want to on this one. But if you look at your shot and say, damn, I wish I could brighten the skin. Damn, I wish I could add color toning on the skin, but not on the mesh of the dress. Well, you can if you really make the effort, and with the right tools, it can happen kind of quick. So that's what I want to show you guys on that today. Any questions or comments, leave them below or drop me an email, mbp@ninobatista.com.